right, you guys, podcast time.
Chew. It's quieter.
Fucking podcasting right now.
Chew quieter.
And now, to the podcast studio.
Welcome back to Chew Quieter. Today is a special day for us, kind of. Just got word today that marijuana is being rescheduled from class 1 to class 3. So, well, not yet. It still has to.
It doesn't change anything for those of us in legal states.
No. But it's not official yet. It has to still go through Biden's desk, which he'll probably sign. He's going to pander. He needs the votes. Yeah, he wants the votes. But still, it's a big deal. I mean, it shouldn't be classified as it is right now, anyways, that high, because come on, let's face it, it's just a fucking plant.
Yeah,
it's no worse than, they're letting fentanyl come over the border. Let them bring over the fucking pot too. God damn it.
There we go. Get it all done.
When I heard about this, I wanted to call one of my friends that is a grower in Colorado and ask him what kind of implications he thinks this has on the legal aspect, the legal business portion that he deals with. Because I don't know if it would or not. I can't imagine that it would in states that it's already legal, but
yeah, it probably doesn't change anything. It's like alcohol. They just regulate it like ATF stuff.
Yeah. I guess the only way that it would change would be they can actually get a bank account now, and they can use credit cards and debit cards for purchases.
Yeah, that would probably be the only thing that changes on the business side.
Yeah. Which is a good thing, because I'm sure they don't like to be dealing in cash.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, to a point.
Everyone hates dealing in cash. No, everybody loves dealing in cash.
Well, the people that want to hide things love to deal in cash.
Well, it's not hiding things. It's
laundering.
No. We're strategically keeping the government out of our pockets.
So what do we call that? What would be another name for that?
Well, we don't want to call it tax evasion.
No. We're evading scrupulous
excessive taxation
eyes that want extra pennies.
Exactly.
So yeah, tax evasion. Anyways, if it does become, if they do pass it back down to a 3, I don't know if I would start smoking pot again or not.
Why?
I don't know. It's been so long.
But why did you quit?
For health reasons. I wanted to improve my lung capacity. I wanted to be able to walk upstairs and get to the top floor and not be like.
Okay, so the actual smoking of flower was the stop.
Yeah.
So, but if it's legal or not as illegal, and you can do gummies or edibles or something like that, would that make a difference for you?
Maybe. See, the thing with gummies is it didn't ever get me really high. I felt a head change, but it was never like smoking.
Mm.
So I always would have to eat fistfuls of gummies to try to even get a buzz. We were in South Dakota one time I was with Matt Lockley, and we're sharing a hotel room. We're filming for Kingdom Crawl.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've told you the story or not before, but before we went to South Dakota, he flew into Colorado. I picked him up from the airport. We went straight to the dispensary.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So we've got about an ounce of flour. We've got probably, I'd say close to 10 jars of gummies and and some other edibles. And we're driving through Wyoming, and I'm doing about 110 on this open highway, and this cop starts coming towards my direction. I'm passing him, and I'm like, oh fuck. There's no point in me slowing down. He's already got me on radar.
Yeah, you're already locked.
Yeah. So my only hope is to just keep going at the same pace, and if he turns around, then I'll slow down because he's gonna pull me over.
Yeah.
So sure enough, turns around, puts his lights on. I let off the gas. I'm like, all right, Matt, here we go. We're about to get pulled over with the fucking 10 years of felony in the trunk. In Wyoming, it's not legal. And his face went from just this normal, cheesy, rosy cheek person to like just flushed.
From Matt to a ghost?
Yes. And I was like, I'm telling you right now, Matt, if he tells me to step out of the car, I'm not stepping out of the car. We're going. We're booking it. We're making a beeline to Mexico.
Yeah, because you can't go to Canada.
No, it's too far. So luckily he didn't ask us to step out of the car. He didn't smell anything. He was just, you know how fast you're going? I was like, yes, sir, I do. I understand you're about to give me a ticket. I understand I'll have to sign it for it. And here's my license. Here's my registration.
Yeah, I got my pin out the window here. Just put it right here. I'll just sign and go.
So the whole time I'm kind of like looking at Matt, and Matt's just like, doo, 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 doo. I'm like, Matt, don't act suspect. He's like, doo, 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 doo. I'm like, dude, you're gonna fucking get us busted if you keep acting like that. Doo, 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 doo.
Oh, jeez.
He shit a brick. A few bricks. Yeah. So we get to South Dakota, and obviously I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're here. I can relax a little bit. Put the gummies in the refrigerator because it was hot, so they were pretty much melted. As soon as they stiffened up a little bit, I popped 2 of them. And I'm like, well, nothing's really happening. So I popped a few more. Nothing's really happening. So I just eat the whole fucking jar. And Matt's looking at me like, oh my God, you're going to fucking die. I'm like, no, I'm not. Trust me. I'll be fine. So I think I had eaten that whole jar that night. I had another jar the next night. Because I never got stoned and filmed. I always wanted to have my wits just in case there's a vehicle coming and I need to egress one way or another. I wanted to make sure that, had all my scruples and that sort of thing. So I always waited till after the trail to smoke or even drink. Way back when I used to drink, I never really got buzzed on the trail. So yeah, I went through all my gummies within those 3 days. And they never really did anything for me. I think I had a big cookie. They suggested only eat half the cookie, and I ate the whole cookie.
I was told not to eat more than a quarter of this brownie one time, and I ate it, the whole thing. It's a bad thing.
Were you like Lucky Charms, seeing yellow horseshoes, green clovers, purple diamonds and shit?
Nah, I was just locked to the couch.
Oh.
I couldn't move, and I was starving. They had dinner, and they like brought me a plate. They're like, okay, you need to get up and eat. I'm like, can you guys chew it for me and put it in my mouth?
Feed it to me like a baby bird.
Yeah. Like, it was
put
bad.
It in the blender, give me a straw.
I can't move my mouth. I'm too high.
There was one time when I went back to LA to visit family, and I ate my sister's gummies. And we went to a bar after, and we were going to meet some friends. And I'm pretty sure I drank a beer that was intended for a female because I got roofied. And the combination of the roofie and the gummies fucked me up.
No, that'll get you.
Yeah. So the next day I was just like, I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck, if I was a girl, I'd be totally like bent over right now, with my ass cheeks spread out, just taking it. I feel sorry for these girls that do get roofied and just get taken advantage of. Like, it's a horrible fucking feeling.
Yeah, it's craziness.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back to that bar and find out who it was, and thinking to myself it was probably the bartender. But I mean, I can't start pointing fingers because I don't know who the fuck it was.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, but just a horrible feeling.
Yeah, jeez.
Speaking of horrible feelings, how's your tummy?
It's getting better. I didn't have a good weekend. A little food poisoning, and I don't think I've ever had food poisoning before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not like this at least. I mean, I had cramps in my stomach, uncomfortable, couldn't move, was like feeling sick as hell. Temperature, what did I have? Like it was like 101 degree temperature.
Wow.
And it was all quick. It was all like just super quick. And then I woke up Saturday and I felt better, but I couldn't eat. I didn't want to eat, whatever. And then I felt like I did like 1,000 crunches. My abdomen was just all tight from like lower of the sternum all the way to the freaking dick. Off that muscle that goes between the two.
Yeah.
Just sore as fuck.
Were you throwing up or just shitting a lot?
Just shitting and ugly shitting.
Like getting ready for a colonoscopy shitting?
Yeah, but it was not too graphic, but there was there was some red and some clear shit in there that was gross.
Were you just screaming, "Mommy, mommy"?
Oh, jeez. It was bad.
It's happened to me before. I think the first time, it's a really fucked up thing to eat to get food poisoning from, but it was from Gordon's fish sticks.
Really?
Yeah, fish sticks of all things.
Did they get thawed in?
No, I made them in the toaster oven, just like normally would, that sort of thing, and I think I had maybe 6 of them, some tartar sauce.
No, I was wondering if they just weren't put in the freezer. They might have been left out, got refrozen.
I don't know.
And then eat them like at the grocery store. They might have like left out a box.
Maybe.
You know those people that leave shit at the checkout stand above the gum?
Yeah.
And then box boy came by, grabbed it, threw it back in the freezer, but it was already thawed and sitting there for a day. Yeah. Didn't care.
It was bad. I was hospitalized for 1 day.
Oh, jeez.
It was that bad. So, damn. The little jingle, "Trust the Gordon's fisherman." Yeah. Every time I hear that now,
fuck that yellow suit guy.
Yeah. Every time I hear that now, I start fucking gagging. It's just horrible. But yeah, they checked me. I went to urgent care. And they're like, "Ooh, you've got a very severe case of food poisoning, just like you." I had a fever and everything. And they're like, "Well, we've done all about what we can do here. We're gonna have to check you into the hospital." So they put me full of IVs. They just plopped me down on a bedpan, and I was just shitting my brains out and puking my brains out. I had severe cramps, stomach cramps, like you did.
Well, that was when it was like 10 o'clock, and I was like, am I going to the ER? Am I figuring out this? I didn't know what it was. Never had a sickness like that where it just rolled in, and then I'm like shitting blood and fucking mucus shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I gotta go. And I was like, no, I'm gonna just see what happens overnight. I don't feel super bad. It's just terrible. And then it just went away. The next morning I woke up and it was fine. By about noon, I think I ate a little bit of something, and then a little bit through the day, and then had a dinner, and then woke up Sunday and finally had a real shit.
Solid one.
A
proper shit.
A proper shit. Yep.
Yeah, and the first like maybe half of the day that you have it, you're thinking to yourself, "Oh fuck, this is like the Oregon Trail. I'm gonna die from fucking dysentery."
Yeah, it was that night. It was bad. It was probably from about 8 o'clock till 3 in the morning. And I finally fell asleep.
Wow. Is there anything that you would eat now, thinking about it, you would not eat again?
What do you mean?
Like
that got me sick?
Yeah, like running through the things that in your head that you might have eaten that got you sick. Is there something in your head now that you're thinking, I'll never eat that again?
No, I think the problem was I ate something I probably shouldn't have. My daughter's boyfriend sister went out with some guy that worked at a bakery, and he brought a bunch of these pastries and buns to them. Their parents sent them to our house, and there was this one that had ham in it, and I don't know if it was left out or how old it was, but it didn't smell bad or anything, and I ate it. I think that's the one thing that I ate that no one out in the house ate, and I got sick.
That's unfortunate.
So, yeah, it happened.
No more fucking daughters, boyfriends,
for
aunts, friends, pastries.
No more Dale pastries for me. But it sucks. I missed the kids' game on Saturday morning, and I guess it was a good game. They tied. It's like the first game that they were competitive and played and had a good game, and I missed that shit. So that was kind of shitty. But oh well.
There's no more crazy breads, unless it's
crazy breads,
unless it's from Little Caesars.
Nah, not even that.
You don't like the crazy bread from Little Caesar?
I'm not a big pizza fan.
It's not pizza though. It's crazy bread. You dip it in a marinara. It's got garlic.
I'm out.
Wow.
Marinara, I'm out. I really don't like tomatoes anymore.
We just bought a tomato plant, so now we have these.
It's funny.
These little baby sweet tomatoes growing.
I grow tomatoes, but I won't eat a tomato.
They're fantastic.
I won't eat one.
So so we found out that you can pickle tomatoes. So we're gonna start jarring them.
Okay.
Just little tomatillos.
And
tomatillo?
You did tomatillos?
Yeah.
Did you get 2 of them?
No.
You need 2 of them.
Okay. No, they're not. No, they're are they? No, I think they're just sweet tomatoes.
They're just tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the little.
If you plant tomatillos, you have to plant at least 2.
Do they germinate off each other or something?
Because they have to cross-pollinate, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you plant one, you'll get nothing. I found out that the hard way.
I heard that's what you have to do with avocado trees too.
Have 2?
You have to have a male and a female, and you have to plant them right next to each other. And by the time it gets to a certain age, they fuse together, and then you get your big avocado tree. I don't know how true that is. That's just what I've heard.
That. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Then again, we can't grow avocados in Arizona.
No, or cantaloupe.
No, we grow cantaloupe here.
Did you really?
Yeah, we grew cantaloupe.
I love cantaloupe.
Yeah. Not a fan, but we grew it.
So my dad used to buy bunches of cantaloupe, and half them take out all the seed, and then half a lemon, and then just squeeze lemon on the cantaloupe with a little bit of salt, and then just scoop it out with a spoon and eat it like that. It was really good. And then my teeth started getting all like fucked up from the salt and the lemon. So I had to stop eating them. It was like for a whole 2 summers, that was it. It was when my mom and dad were going through divorce. And I was living with my dad. So you were
at his house, just in his bachelor pad?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all we had was cantaloupe.
So fridge full of cantaloupe.
Yeah, it was just cantaloupe, pizza, and McDonald's and Denny's. He fucking loves Denny's. Like for his birthday, where do you want to go for your birthday, Dad? Oh, I want to go to Denny's. Like, you don't want to go somewhere nice? No, I like Denny's.
You go to the Denny's by Pioneer High School?
Yeah. It's basically a fucking truck stop.
Yes. with the Motel 6 next to it.
Yeah. See people fucking doing the walk of shame out of that hotel. Motel, sorry.
The lot lizards coming back.
Yeah. And then there was a gas station right next to it. It was the Chevron.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy that used to sell flowers every fucking day, except Sunday, unless it was a Mother's Day. He would always sell roses or some sort of flowers. But he also sold pot.
Of course he did.
It was Bob the pot guy. So I'm sure if you ask your wife, she would probably knew about this too.
Oh, was it Bob or Roberto?
It was Bob. It was a white guy.
It was a white guy, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Really like long-haired, hippie-looking dude. Really chill. Always tan because he's in the sun all fucking day. But he would walk in the median with flowers, and then he'd have his truck parked at the gas station full of flowers.
And weed.
But yeah, he never got busted. As far as I know, he never got busted.
All right, let me ask her.
Wife, do you remember Bob the flower guy that sold pot? He was a white guy, looked like a surfer from Huntington Beach. He probably did come from Huntington Beach or Garden Grove or some shit. Typical shit, right? I'm going to go to the hood and sell my drugs there. But it was pretty decent pot though.
You did buy it from?
Oh yeah, of course. He was a little more expensive, but it was good pot. That's why. It's not like it was packed in a donkey's ass and then kicked over the border type pot. It was.
Oh, you know what? That brown fucking dirt weed.
Yeah, fuck that. That nickel bag shit.
Nickel bag in a foil.
Oh.
It's like they couldn't afford bags. They put it in a foil pouch.
Yeah. Well, there was a place called Music Revolution. I don't know if you remember this place or not, but it was on Washington Boulevard. And
okay,
it was there for, it might still be there, but it was there for at least 25 years before I ever found out about it. But it's one of those places where it's just records, and then behind the little bead curtain is the head shop.
It's a glass shop. It's a glass shop.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get your weed pipes, your nudie magazines,
bongs, papers,
papers,
grinders, everything you could possibly
including your little plastic bags that you can sell nickels and dimes out of. And that's where we used to go to get our nickel and dime bags. But they call them jewelry bags.
Jewelry bags for your jewelry.
It's for loose jewelry that you're selling.
Sounds legit to me.
Yeah. Don't know first fucking thing about jewelry except it's expensive.
So there was a place, what was it called? In Montebello that was like that.
I bet if you say the name, I've been there.
You probably have.
There's a lot of places like that.
Oh yeah.
Just old school record shops.
Mm-hmm.
There was tons of them in Huntington Beach.
Of course.
There was a lot of them on Venice Beach.
Of course.
There was a few in West Covina. Yeah. I mean, those places are classic. I mean, you walk in and it smells like vinyl. I mean, obviously not anymore. Record sales have obviously dipped, especially printed vinyl. But that was the shit, man.
But there's still an enormous amount of vinyl trading. Maybe a lot of it's used, but there's still some that are printed.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a new section of vinyl at Walmart.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't had an actual record player since I left LA. I sold my turntables and all my records so I could afford to move. And I didn't want to bring all of it with me because I only packed a small little tiny U-Haul. So I didn't have very much room when I was moving from LA to Colorado. So I sold a lot of shit, and it was probably 6 crates worth of records.
Damn, it'd be worth money now.
Yeah,
my kids,
I kicked myself for it.
have those the new record players, and they can hook up to Bluetooth speakers and whatever. They're just cheap, $100 in a little case, and they go all over the place looking for records.
Yeah, it was making a comeback for a while, but I stopped hearing about it after a while.
Yeah, they're still crazy. And we went to New Orleans, and there was a giant record store out there. And I mean,
can you imagine the classic shit they have there?
Oh, the stuff they had there was so cool. Like categories that you don't even think that you are even never even heard of.
Yeah, they have. I think they have probably the biggest selection of music that's made in one city. There, they have obviously they have rap. They have what they call bounce. They have classic jazz. They have new age jazz. They have Creole, which is very big music out there. Yeah,
yeah. The Cajun music. They have Creole music. They have Cajun, which is different than Creole music.
Right.
Then you get into any of the Zydeco and island sounds that they have that are influenced to them too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I walked around and was like, holy hell, look at all these different genres and music and things that they had there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's definitely a place I want to go to. I know you've talked about it. You were there not too long ago and had a blast at a concert, which I'm still jealous about.
Yeah, you gotta get out there. There's all kinds of do out there.
I think my traveling for right now is done until my shoulder heals. I've been having really bad trouble with my shoulder. I haven't been able to work out. I can't even ride my bike because just putting pressure on the handlebars, the shoulder keeps popping in and out. I have a micro tear in my ligament that connects the bicep to the scapula.
Huh. When is this recent?
Yeah, so it was discovered about I would say the first week of April. But it was hurting before that too. So I was going pretty hard on the weights, 5 days a week, 5 days in a row. I was just lifting and riding the bike, just going hard at it. And didn't have any rest between lifting days.
Yeah, you just stressed it too much.
Yeah. On top of that, I was practicing. Turkey season was coming up, and my plan was to hunt turkey with my bow this year. So afternoon, I was always shooting my bow. So between the weightlifting, shooting the bow, something tore in my shoulder, and now it's been painful. So I've been going to do some PT. It's getting better. It's still painful.
Yeah, not bad enough if they want to go in and stitch it.
Yeah, nothing yet. If it doesn't get better though soon, in another 4 weeks, might have to do some exploratory shit though. But I talked to Jake Glazer about it because I know he's had his shoulder worked on a few times, just to kind of get a temperature of what he had to go through, and it doesn't sound fun.
No, it's definitely not a fun procedure. I've avoided it.
You've had issue also?
Yeah, constantly this shoulder is just inflamed and a problem. I can't sleep on it. About 15, 16 years ago, I had a trailer on my driveway and I was going to roll it down. Not a good idea. So I kicked the chalk off and I was just walking it down. And I had two hands on it holding it as it got down to the end of the driveway. And it hit that little bump at the end where the end of the driveway is.
Mhm.
And when it hit that, the wheel kicked that way and it turned the whole trailer and just tore this freaking shoulder out.
What happened to the trailer?
I was down for probably 6 months with it, but it's never recovered fully. It's always been a problem.
How long ago was it?
It was like 16 years ago.
Oh, fuck. And it's still an issue.
It's still an issue. I can't throw a ball properly like I used to. I can throw from shortstop to first. That's as far as I can throw a ball.
Mm-hmm. That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this gets better soon, because if it doesn't, that means my whole summer is shot.
Yeah. Well, they wanted me to go to do the surgery. It's not that bad because it's not torn that bad. It's just stretched out and damaged.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way. I can't sleep. I'm a side sleeper, so I can't sleep on this side. And I like to put my arm under my pillow and sleep when I'm on my stomach. And certain range of motion, I don't have it. So
yeah,
sleeping lately has been a bitch.
Yeah.
But
that's what gummies are for. Sleepy gummies.
Yeah, I need some gummies for sure. But that's what I bought, a Thames machine. So okay. I've been putting the Thames on it. Ice packs. Doctor gave me some exercises to do. So I've been doing that. I'm literally taking this more serious than trying to, beef up on the weights and that sort of thing, just because I want to get back on the weights.
Yeah.
I want to get back on the golf course. Haven't been able to play around yet this year since I fucked up the shoulder.
Yeah, that's a limiter.
Yeah.
Luckily, mine doesn't affect the golf or any real activities other than throwing the ball. It's throwing a ball that probably is worse for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't tried to throw a ball or anything yet. But I'm kind of retarded though at the same time, because I'm still doing yard work. Like, my shoulder's fine. So
that's so it's never going to recover. It's my problem.
Yeah. So like, I have a 1 gallon sprayer that you pump, and it has a little wand and you spray. So I'm doing some weeding, trying to kill some weeds behind my fence. And I'm done, and I walk inside and I'm just like, holy fuck, like, I should not have done that. Like, just holding that fucking 1 gallon.
It's not very heavy either.
It's not that heavy. Maybe 5 pounds.
But when you're hurt, you're hurt.
Yeah. And on top of that, doing some weed eating with the weed whacker. I mean, it's not very heavy, but when you're holding it for like 20 minutes, it takes its toll.
Yep.
Pushing the lawnmower, that takes its toll. So I went and I bought a bungee cord, because it's one of those lawnmowers that you have to hold the little bar in to get it to go. So I bought a bungee cord to wrap it around. That helped a little bit.
It does help
a little bit, not a lot, but enough.
The grip is tight, so you can have more of an open grip.
Right,
to push.
Exactly. And that's part of the problem with riding the bike. I'm gripping the handlebars because, I'm doing intervals, so I'm just going hard at it.
Yeah.
So if I have an open palm on the handlebars, I can't really push it as hard. And even then, I'm still, I'm bracing my arms.
Yeah, so
my shoulder all of a sudden.
So you're gripping, and as soon as you're gripping, you're putting push back on it.
Yeah. So send me some gummies.
Not fun. Is a sleepy gummy going to work for you?
What?
Is a sleepy gummy going to work for you?
It'll help.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I've been popping Advil like crazy just before bed. So I usually ice it right before bed, and then I'll pop a handful of Advil like I'm a Marine that is injured.
All right, I'll have to go to the store.
Yeah. I don't know what else to do because I really don't want surgery.
Yeah, but I would suggest if it sticks around for longer than a few months, you'd really look at the surgery.
Yeah.
You don't want to be old man with the shoulder that doesn't work at all, and then they can't fix it.
I'm not looking forward to an immobilized right arm. That's the arm I used to wipe my ass with. I'm more worried about wiping my ass correctly than jacking off. really shitty walking around with crust in my butt.
You get a bidet.
I've been wanting one. I legit have been wanting one. They seem fancy.
My brother has the seat one. You just put on your existing toilet. You have to replace the toilet.
Yeah. He
swears by it.
So the funniest thing I heard was that if you have one, the best way to use it is before you sit down to spread your cheeks a little bit. That way it really gets in the crack and it cleans you out properly rather than having your butt cheeks folded in and it's just squirting your
bounces off.
Yeah. It sounds like legit advice. I don't know if the person was fucking with me or not, but it sounds legit.
I believe they might have been, but who knows? I feel like fluid dynamics would make that true.
Speaking of wiping your ass, have you seen all these people at these universities doing the sit-ins for pro-Palestine movements?
Yeah, I see this one cop carrying this. It was a chick or something. She's like picked her up like a baby, just carried her out.
Where are these people shitting?
Wherever the hell they want.
Fucking hippie.
You know that stinks. All those freaking hippies, all in tents, just probably shitting and pissing everywhere. It's just gross. It's like a fucking homeless encampment.
Yeah. Here's what I don't understand.
Care.
A lot of these are American-born people that are protesting pro-Palestine. They're for Palestine, and I don't think they really understand what they're saying or doing.
No, they don't.
I think
There's
it's
all
another
kinds of different interviewers going, "Hey, what do you think about what's going on over there? Why are you out here?" And they're like, because my friend brought me."
Yeah. Let me put it to you like
Columbia
this.
But they're at Columbia University. It's like $70,000 a year for Columbia.
Yeah.
So these are not poor people.
No. But let me put it to you like this. And I'm glad you brought it up that it's Columbia, or one of them is Columbia University, because these are the people that are supposed to be intellects. They're the ones that are supposed to be like, hey, look, if something like this happens, this is what happens because of this. They're intellectuals. They know repercussions. So to say that Israel doesn't have a right to defend themselves from an attack is just fucking crazy to me. If the U.S. was attacked in the same fashion, guess what we're going to fucking do? We're going to fucking retaliate and fight back. Is it wrong for us to do that? No.
But at the same time, those people would probably be there protesting.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that protested us going to Iraq after 9/11 too. So you have a point.
Right. Like, okay.
But I mean, it's never going to end. That region has been at war for fucking years, yeah. Like generations. There's no such thing as them wanting peace, because that's all they preached about was having a holy war.
Yeah, they just they just want to let it go as it is and just keep going. It's craziness.
Yeah. If you're pro-Palestine and less pro-USA, then you should just fucking go to the Middle East and live there. You should be, if you're on this soil, if you're in this country on this soil with either a student visa because you're lucky enough to be here, or you're on the soil because you're lucky enough to be born here, or even migrate here legally, hopefully, you should not be pro any other country than this one, because this is the only country that's given you the fucking opportunity to thrive. Otherwise, go back to fucking Gaza Strip and throw rocks. See how far that fucking takes you. Fucking rock chuckers.
What did I just see? One of the news outlets shows it was like these freaking queers for Gaza or something like that. I'm like, do you realize if you went there, they'd kill you?
Right. They don't realize that because
Like,
this is the same thing as during the George Floyd riots. White people having white guilt. This is the same thing.
That's the rise of white guilt right there.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
It's like,
that's why as a brown person, I don't have any of that guilt because I've never felt guilt in my life to begin with. It's just like just like when your mom saw you do something stupid and you hurt yourself. What'd she say? That's what you get for being stupid.
That's what you get for being stupid. Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know, asinine. And I'll watch this and go, fucking really? Thank God I don't go to freaking college.
Yeah. Well, your daughter's going to be going to college.
Yeah, and a somewhat liberal freaking college, too.
I wonder how that's going to go.
Probably not good for her.
She's a little rebel, isn't she?
Yeah, she won't tolerate that. She just looks at it and goes, "You fucking stupid people." She doesn't use the F word though. That's my ability.
Well, it kind of reminds me of when I was in junior high. So my dad put me into a Christian school in junior high to get away from the public schools because he knew I was going down the wrong road. He thought if he segregated me from all of my friends that were bad influences and put me in a school with a bunch of people that were goody goodies, that I would, I'd be better off. I never believed in religion. I always thought it was kind of far-fetched for me to have that faith that's required to be a Christian. I mean, that's why it's called faith, right? It's not called fact. You have to have faith to believe this sort of thing. Otherwise, it would just be all factual. So I always failed the Bible study section of school. And my dad was pissed off because he was paying for the school. And he's like, listen, you don't have to believe it, but just do the curriculum. Make me think that I'm getting my money's worth. So one day I was like, okay, fine. I mean, my Bible study was second period or something like that. They're like, okay, this lesson today is to learn this book of the Bible. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to read this book of the Bible. I'm going to scrutinize it. And I'm going to ask the questions that I think should be asked. And I don't, obviously, I can't recite the whole thing, just like a lot of people can't. But the people that can could probably, that are listening, could probably tell me what section this is from. But there was a part where King David had an affair with one of his commander's wives or something like that and got her pregnant and tried to force that guy to come back and live with her, and he didn't want to live with the wife because she would, cheated on him.
Pregnant with some other guy's man.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah. So I'm asking the question, like, if everything in the Bible is good, some things are bad. Where do you classify this? Like, what's the lesson in this? And the teacher was kind of like, forgiveness. I was like, really? That's the horrible thing to forgive. Why would you forgive someone that was just that cheated on you? Well, it's to show that anything is possible. I was like, you're fucking reaching. Obviously didn't say fucking, otherwise I would have got kicked out. But well, like, you're reaching.
Of course, you're reaching. Yeah, I had a similar experience. I never really went to church my whole life, and then I went to a Catholic high school, and we had a theology class, and I didn't know what the fuck. All these other kids all came from Catholic junior high schools or elementary schools and have been Catholic their entire lives, so I'm like the outcast.
Yeah.
So I nothing to say about religion. I have nothing nice to say about religion.
I mean, I think I'm leaning more towards agnostic than atheist, because I've always been the person that says, prove it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have not seen any proof that there is such thing, that God does exist. We have no factual basis that Jesus did all of these things, because everything that's in the Bible about him is third-hand knowledge.
Yeah.
So they could all just be stories, just like Jonah and the whale. Who the fuck is living inside of a whale? Who the fuck is parting the Red Sea? Hundreds of millions of gallons of water is being divided so people can walk through it. Okay, that ground is still wet. It's mud. It's saturated. You really think these people are just dredging through dry desert water?
Yeah. No, there's so much that just like it's to me, the whole story of Jesus and the disciples is like a bunch of freaking nomad hippies.
Mm-hmm.
They were out just doing drugs, having some killer trips on some shit and seeing stuff, and that's what they wrote in the book.
Yeah.
So it probably wasn't even really happening. It was just what the drugs were doing to them.
Yeah.
And back out there, you'd have wild weed,
mushrooms,
wild opium, wild mushrooms. Basically, any mind-altering drugs you want were there.
Yep. And so, it might have been aliens that were coming down too. So these heavenly creatures or person that there's accounts of could be aliens.
They came, saw, and never came back.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, these people are wearing sandals all the time.
These people are stupid.
We got to get out of here.
It's time to go.
Let's see how stupid they are. Let's make them build an obelisk and see if they'll find it in 200 years. I don't, like I said,
I just can't. I like the idea of a higher being, of a God, of good and bad. I like the general teachings and commandment side of that, because it teaches people how to have and do and live a good life.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe in the whole religion side of it.
To me, it's more cult-ish than anything else. I mean, you have factions. Even within the Christianity faith, you have factions. You have your Baptists, you have your hardcore Christians, you have the Catholics, Protestants, Even Judaism, there's different factions. The Muslims had different factions. It's just, if there was a God, why would he have all these different cliques?
Allow all these different things. Well, we just talked about this holy war.
Yeah.
The holy land that they're trying to go after. How many wars have been fought because of religion?
Yeah.
So,
but look, if you're listening and you're like, oh, this is fucked up, they're against religion. We're not against religion. We specifically don't believe in it. If it works for you, it works for you. And if it makes you a better person, it makes you a better person. Great. But you don't have to have religion in your life to be a good person. I think there's many people walking this earth right now that are great examples of that. There's people in history that are great examples of that. There's people in history that have been religious that have also been very shitty fucking people. So you can't, you can't say that religion makes you a good person just because you're religious, or you have God in your life, or Christ in your heart, or whatever you want to say. If it makes you feel good, do it. Just like, just like the ducking thing. If that makes you happy, fucking do it. It doesn't mean we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna make fun of you.
Of course, 100%. I'm not thinking I'm gonna freaking take a bunch of ducks with the golf club and go play with them.
But again, prove it to me. If you say there is a God, prove it to me. I will then do my repentance, or whatever the fuck you call it. I will say sorry, whatever you want, whatever it takes. But as of now, I'm going to live my life the way I want. I don't think you have to be a Christian to live a Christian life.
No. And like I said, it's just the outline for living good is just treat people the way that you want to be treated. And be a good person overall. Not to mean that you can't make mistakes.
Right.
We all make mistakes.
Look at other people, Buddhists, sheiks. These are people that don't follow Christianity, but these are some of the nicest, well-behaved people that are walking the earth right now.
Yeah, because it's that basic theme that the religion shows you, is that just be a good person.
Yeah. I have not been a good person in my past.
I need a building for that, though.
You know what?
Like I said, you've done mistakes. You've done things. You've been given a brain. You've been given a body. You've been given a atmosphere to live within, and then you don't get any instructions on how to make it right. So you got to go figure out what's right and wrong on your own, and you make mistakes, and you make positive impacts where you can, and you hopefully at the end is your positive impacts outweigh your negative shit.
Yeah, can you imagine if there is a God and all of a sudden you die suddenly and you're at the pearly gates, and he's like, "Well, Armando, I see here in 1994, behind your mom's back, you flipped her off, but in 2022, you helped this many veterans overcome their problems. So because of this, we're going to put you in purgatory until we can figure out exactly what to do with you."
we need to have the accountant come down.
Yeah. And then you're like, "No, but God, you forgot about this. What happened in 1999? I helped this old lady cross the street."
Yeah, forensics accounting is what I need.
And then I get there. He's like, "Holy shit! From 1977 to 2000, what did you do?" He's like, "The scales are just uneven here. Sorry. Down the hell you go."
Like I said, mistakes have been made.
I've been a good person I would say 3/4 of my life. I didn't always do bad shit.
Yeah, no, and I didn't do a bunch of bad shit. I've done bad shit, but I've always tried to do more good than bad shit.
Yeah. When I kind of had my own awakening, I guess you can say, is when I started to realize I could probably do more for other people than I've done bad to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I'm at now. That's why I'm not
evening of things.
Yeah, I'm not on YouTube glorifying myself. I'm not on YouTube trying to, just put myself forward. I always making videos for YouTube, but putting other people forward before me, way before me. There were so many videos that I made that I was not in, and that was calculated. There was a reason for that. Other people deserve attention. Who the fuck am I? This person's way cooler than I am. Will ever be. This person's actually doing something that I can't.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways that you do good and you create a positive impact in life and stuff like that, where it's the unselfishness, it's the awareness side of it, the thing that brings other people together. All that is all good stuff. So I don't know if it can outweigh the bad shit, but at least you kind of hopefully the counting comes. Hopefully you end up at a 51-49.
Imagine you have to flip a coin.
Yeah, you're like, 50-50.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Armando, sorry, but
tails.
You're 50-50 right now. Here's a coin. Call it in the air, okay? Heads, you're good.
Heads,
tails,
I win. Tails, you lose.
Heads,
I win. Tails, you lose.
If that was me, I'd just be like, you know what? Fuck the coin. Let's roll some dice.
Yeah, no. Craps. No.
Can we play Uno for heaven?
Uno for heaven.
I'm really good at Othello.
Wow, I haven't thought about Othello forever.
That's a fun game.
I don't think I've ever played it. Really?
It's like checkers, but super on crack. Like, it's a wild game to play. Like, I remember playing with my dad, and I would always lose to my dad, and I would get so frustrated. And he'd be like, "Look, you need to learn how to play chess, because this game is like chess. You have to think way ahead before you start making your moves." And I can never figure out chess. I know the horse did different funky moves, and
two, and then a one to the right or left.
Yeah, the little pawns can only go one way.
The pawn's one step at a time.
Yeah,
you can only move diagonal to kill.
And the queen can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Queen can do whatever the fuck she wants.
What a bitch!
And king's a freaking limp pawn, just larger.
Yeah, it's like Gandalf.
He can move diagonal, so a little bit better than a pawn, but
yeah, the king is like Gandalf. Just moves very slow, but methodical.
Yeah.
I almost bought a gun today.
Which one?
The Shadow Systems DR920. The War Poet edition. I have the Shadow Systems MR920, which is basically a Glock 19, and I wanted the older brother of that, which is the Glock 17 version. But I have this one here, which is basically a Glock 17. This is a P80. It's the Glock 17 version. So it was in my cart, and I'm doing the checkout. I'm doing the checkout, and I look down, and my gun's right here on my desk. I'm like, do I need a second one like this? I'm like, I don't think I do.
Of course you do.
So then I started looking at the XR920, which is a hybrid of the Glock 19 and the Glock 17. It's the Glock 19, basically a Glock 19 upper length with the handle size of the Glock 17, which is the Glock 45, basically. But it's the Shadow Systems version. And the reason why I like the Shadow Systems version is because you get 3 different backstraps for your liking. You can do the regular Glock style backstrap, 1911 style backstrap, or I think they have like a SIG type option. I prefer a straight backstrap. And also the Shadow Systems version, it's already stippled. The everything on the frame is already stippled. The slide is already cut for optic, and there is an option that you can buy the optic with it. It's got slide cuts for serrations for make it a little bit lighter and for grip. So, and also the barrel is fluted.
Nice.
So by the time you buy a standard Glock and you try to do all the same work to it to make it the way you want, which is the stippling, which is the slide cut, the cuts on the for the grip, the windows, an extra barrel that's threaded, you're already up to like $1,500, $1,600.
Yeah.
Not including an optic. So the Shadow Systems, it's already you're at $1,300 with the optic.
With the optic, so yeah, so you're way better.
Yeah, and it's got a better trigger too.
So is that what you're getting now?
I'm leaning towards the XR920, the Shadow Systems XR920, either the War Poet or the Elite. I'm leaning towards the Elite just because the only difference between the War Poet and the Elite is I believe the fluted barrel is different, and it doesn't have the red trigger shoe. Just small cosmetic things.
That's always what it is.
Yeah. But also there is a flat dark earth version of the XR920. The War Poet edition is only black. So I'm thinking about it. I just paid off my computer. So I have some extra money to spend.
Let's see the cart. It's already in the cart. You're sitting there ready to go. Sitting ready to go.
Oh, trust me. I've gotten 2 different emails from 3 different places because I have it in 3 different shopping carts.
Hey, you ready to make that purchase yet?
Yeah. Don't forget about this in your shopping cart.
They get those emails coming.
Yeah. It's hard not to want to buy a gun. Living in a state like this.
Yeah, I just got to stay out of the sporting stores. And I'm good. I don't typically look online. I want to go put it in my hand. If I put it in my hand, I want to buy it.
Well, I already know how this one feels. That's the thing.
Oh, okay. So you went to a sporting store.
Well, yes and no. So I felt it before I was even shopping for one. We were at the gun range, and I'm just looking in their case. I'm like, oh, the Shadow Systems. Can I hold that, please? Like, sure. Brings it out from the case.
Can I hold your credit card? Can I hold your credit card while you hold this? I'll just swipe it now and just take it.
I dry fired it like 3 times, and I was like, yeah, this thing's butter. I want it. So, and then that's when I bought the MR 920. Well, shortly after that. So I already know how the XR 920 is gonna and the DR 920 is gonna feel. So I'm not too worried about just blindly shopping for one of those, because I already know it's gonna feel nice.
All right. Yeah, that's exactly why I don't go to freaking sporting goods stores all the time.
And I know for a fact there's a FUD listening right now. God damn, if it ain't a 9, 10, 11, I don't fucking want it. Yeah. Have fun with your fucking 7-round fucking 45. There's nothing wrong with a 9, 10, 11 unless you just only want 7 shots. I mean, hey, more power to you. And half the time you're limp wristing that shit, you old FUD. I laugh at those guys. They're great.
They're great. They're great.
This gun won 2 world wars. Yeah, well, 7 shots at a time. It sure has.
Nothing wrong with 7 shots at a time.
No, there isn't. Unless there's 8 people.
Well, there's that.
What else we got today? We kind of went off the rails.
What, us? No way, never.
I know, right?
So, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I started watching Chico and the Man.
Really?
Yeah. And Welcome Back, Kotter.
Oh, Gabe Kaplan.
Gabe Kaplan, yeah. And John Travolta.
John Travolta, yeah. A young John Travolta.
A very young John Travolta. But watching Chico and the Man, it's a Puerto Rican guy pretending to be a Mexican guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the theme song is sung by a blind Puerto Rican guy talking about Mexicans. Something's wrong here. And
fucking cultural appropriation. God damn it.
I don't know. I just, being a kid, I remember watching that show, and I know my parents liked the show, but it wasn't who we are. We weren't allowed to go to that side of town. We never just went to shopping down at Whittier in the East LA.
Mm-hmm.
They have all the shops and everything down there. Like
Mm-hmm.
the opening scene is cruising down Whittier Boulevard with
Right.
the shops and stuff. And we just never went there because my parents always say that's what the wetbacks were.
They're not wrong.
They're not wrong, but still. That's just how it was back then. And the whole point of the show is about how the freaking wetbacks are taking over the city. And the old man is tired of it. He's like, oh, you and your freaking brown people.
Remember all the
You and your
beeper
people.
shops? All the beeper shops that were on Whittier Boulevard?
Yes. Right next to the record store.
All the knockoff clothes, the Nikes and cross colors.
Everything. Down there, everything.
Yeah. Now they're full of knockoff cell phone companies and tamale places.
Can you do a knockoff cell phone?
Well, I don't say knockoff, but like the cheap budget.
Oh, Boost Mobile.
Yeah.
What's the other one? It's a green label, I think.
Oh, Cricket.
Cricket, yeah, the Cricket phone. Get your Cricket phone.
I had a Cricket for a while. Until I knew better. Like,
until I realized it wasn't in the ghetto anymore.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need this is some bullshit. I can't fucking leave my house without fucking dropping calls and shit. Literally, cricket in at the time in the Denver area was just fucking god awful. I don't know why I stayed with them for so long as I did. I think as soon as you left Denver metro area, you got charged more for roaming. And as soon as you started to climb the hill to go up towards the mountains, that was it. No more cell phone coverage for you today. It was horrible.
I don't.
And then I switched to Sprint after that. When Sprint was still
Did you get
around.
the chirp? Chirp, chirp.
No. Oh, the Nextel?
The Nextel?
Yeah, I did have Nextel. So, funny story about the Nextel. At one point, everyone had them, right? Because it was like the thing to have. I mean, if Nextel was still around, I would have one, just because that feature is so good. I'd love to have that. So we were downtown Denver. My friend Devin had always had his on speaker, always on speaker. And I told him, I said, one of these days, someone's gonna fuck with you when you least expect it, and talk shit when you least expect it.
When you're in church.
So we were downtown Denver. He's in the Walgreens, and he's got his hands full. He was buying chips and soda. We were going to go to the movies. And so I'm like, oh, perfect timing, because I could see him in the window. I could see that his hands are full. So I get on my Nextel. I'm like, hey, buddy. See that kid? Touch his ass. Grab his ass. And he drops everything right then and there. He just fucking runs out of Walgreens.
Yeah. Okay. That would be a good reason to go.
Yeah. After that, he never had his Nextel on speaker. After that,
you think?
Lesson learned. But that was a great phone. If they still had that technology with like a Samsung, I would totally buy it.
Yeah. I never had one, so I don't know.
It had a great advantage to it.
What was the advantage?
It was just push to talk.
Like a walkie-talkie.
Yeah. So it was like immediate. You didn't have to dial anything. You just 2 clicks to a name. You hit the button. Boop, boop. Hey, okay, I'm outside. Turn the water on to see if we have water pressure now. Beep, beep.
You know, my phone, I say call someone and it just calls them.
Yeah, but how long does that take? It's got to register your voice. It has to actually do the action, and then it has to call. By that time, I'm already checking the water pressure.
I don't know. I don't want to talk to someone like that. Don't even fucking call me. Text me.
That's the funny thing these days is people are mad when they get phone calls.
I'm not mad. I'm just like, you could have fucking texted me this.
I prefer the phone call.
Oh, see, I don't talk on the phone. You get as much talking out of me as I fucking do, and it's a lot. And my nephews are like, you don't talk a lot on your podcast. My nephews and my brother-in-law are listening now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they were like, you don't even talk a lot. Just your friend talks all the time. I'm like, I don't talk a lot. I just don't do it. I'm just not that person.
Did you tell them that you don't even listen to the show?
They know that.
Okay. One of these days we'll change that. I'm going to have to get one of those plugins to change your voice. Do like a auto-tune.
Auto-tune me out.
Yeah. Or put some like reverb and echo on your thing and make you sound like God.
Children.
I see you touching yourself. You're going to hell for that.
What is that from? Real Genius.
Real Genius, yeah.
When they put that thing in his braces.
Yeah.
And it's echoing in his head.
That was such a good movie.
Kent.
Val Kilmer. Young Val Kilmer.
Yeah, young Val Kilmer. Yeah.
And the guy that looked like he would have been on Seinfeld as Kramer. I forget his real name. In the movie, his name was oh god, not Lando. I forget.
That was the guy that lived in the tunnel.
In the tunnel, yeah.
What the hell is his name?
But the other guy's name was Mitch.
Yeah.
And they used their contraption to make a lot of popcorn.
Yes, in the professor's house.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie. Might have to go look for that.
It is definitely one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. It's a period piece.
Yeah. What is it? I hate when they do this.
Laszlo.
Yep.
I knew it'd come to me. Speaking of movies, I just saw Uncut Gems. Have you seen that?
No.
Ooh. Adam Sandler's counterpart in that movie, Julia Fox. Whoa.
Oh, is it a new movie?
No, it came out in 2019.
Okay.
But it came up on my Netflix saying, last chance to see. I was like, I should probably see it. But he plays a degenerate gambler that runs a jewelry store. And this Julia Fox, holy smoke show. Yeah, she's worth it just to watch just because of her. Very attractive young lady.
All right, I have to look and see. Yeah. I have to rate your ratings.
It's pretty good. It's got a good twist at the end.
Okay.
Anything else we got?
We're gonna have a new sponsor soon.
Are we?
We're not gonna get paid for the sponsorship, but we're gonna have a new sponsor.
Okay. Who are we helping out?
Me. So I'm working on it. I've been trying to get this off for about a year, and it's finally getting to the point where I just need to just jump in and do it. So doing a car wash and detail line geared specifically for Jeep, truck, and side-by-side owners.
Okay.
So there's going to be products that are going to help with cleaning up mud, restoring plastics and crap that look like hell after leaving mud on. Things that'll help protect your suspension and underside, especially in the rusty areas.
I think you've told me about this before.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I originally it was Rub One Out.
That's right.
But I just bought the new domain today, and it's Rub One.
Okay. That works too.
So it's still play on words and still funny, still got my personality in there.
Yeah. Rub one in, rub one out.
Just rub one.
Just rub it. Rub a dub dub.
So yeah, so I'm I've been working on that for a couple of days, trying to find some supplies to work on the back end side. Stupid things like bottles. Because I can get bottles through just anywhere, but they look exactly like what's on the shelf at anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like the chemical guys, you can get that cheap bottle they sell is probably the dirtiest, cheapest freaking bottle and spray around, but it just looks like that.
Use mason jars.
You know how many freaking people are going to drop mason jars? Like soapy ass mason jar trying to fill your freaking foam can. And
Get empty KY jelly bottles.
I don't think I have that many empty KY jelly.
Oh, there is. If not, you can make them empty.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I can make that many. Maybe when I was 19.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
When you're ambitious.
when I can go 8 times a day.
You're a stallion.
I was a stallion. That's not the case anymore.
Actually, no.
Old balls.
I don't want to think about it now. Actually,
old balls.
No. Don't want to go there now. Bad visual. All right. On that note, I think we should end it here because I'm going to throw up.
All right. Well, look out for Rub 1 coming soon to location near you.
Right on. All right, folks. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Cool. Thanks, everyone.